President for life, that sounds good.
So Steve Bannon was asked to speak before the New York Young Republican Club Sunday night. As you can tell from his wardrobe, he was a last-minute replacement. Their first choice was busy writing Mein Kampf.
And white people are done being bullied.
Anyway, Bannon floated the idea of Trump making a fourth consecutive run for the White House in 2028.
Donald John Trump is going to raise his hand on the King James Bible and take the oath of office. His third victory in his second term. And the Viceroy, Mike Davis, tells me, since it doesn't actually say consecutive, that, I don't know, maybe we do it again in 28. Are you guys down for that? Trump 28? Come on,
now, there's
man.
a lot here, most notably the Constitution, which says this exactly. No person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice, and no person who has held the office of president or acted as president for more than 2 years of a term to which some other person was elected president shall be elected to the office of the president more than once. This is basically the Roosevelt rule. After Roosevelt ran and was elected 4 times, Congress and the other states amended the Constitution, the 22nd Amendment, which limited 2 terms. Now, there's 2 ways to look at this.
I want to be a dictator.
And the first is, this is the Constitution, which understood the dangers that multiple terms for a president might present. I mean, 70 years ago, they foresaw the rise of a butt-turkey Trump-like boy man whose populist, anti-immigrant, anti-minority, anti-women platform might coalesce into something like this.
Build that wall! Build that wall! Build that wall!
So the entire country agreed. When was the last time that happened? Anyway, Maga and the so-called conservative Republicans now view the entire Constitution as liberal propaganda.
Discriminating against and denigrating, just denigrating white people.
Except, of course, for this amendment.
Hillary wants to essentially abolish the Second Amendment. By the way, and if she gets to pick her judges, nothing you can do, folks. Although the Second Amendment people, maybe there is, I don't know.
That's Trump suggesting the NRA could kill Hillary. And there are many other MAGA moments where they suggest criminal violence to achieve their ends.
In the good old days, this doesn't happen because they used to treat them very, very rough. And when they protested once, they would not do it again so easily.
Those goals being a return to an all-white Leave It to Beaver America.
They say a woman's place is in the home, and I suppose as long as she's in the home, she might as well be in the kitchen.
But the other point that Bannon made suggests an even greater danger to their blatant disregard for the Constitution.
Trump won the presidency.
His third victory in his second term.
Almost every cabinet appointee backs Trump and Bannon's claim that Trump won in 2020.
There is no choice in this election. The government gangsters and the fake news media are coming for our constitutional republic. They have used their unconstitutional means and their 2-tier system of justice.
Which is a bizarre fascination, and then everyone knows Trump lost. Even Ivanka couldn't lie anymore.
And it was being laid out there, and I told them that it was crazy stuff, and they were wasting their time on that. And it was doing a grave disservice to the country.
That affect your perspective about the election when Attorney General Barr made that statement?
It affected my perspective. I respect Attorney General Barr. So I accepted what he was saying.
But Bannon and people like Michael Flynn are trying to use an interpretation of the Constitution to attack the very document itself. For example, during the voting in 2020, Michael Flynn, a former general and a twice convicted felon, urged Trump to declare martial law and seize the voting machines. But in this case, Bannon is proposing that Trump stay in office with the hope that Alito and Thomas will have enough sway to declare it constitutional. And to that point, I'm not even sure Trump wants that. Trump ran for president for 2 reasons. 1, to stay out of prison, which surely would have occurred had he lost. And 2, to grift a few more billion from other countries like Saudi Arabia, which just announced after the election that Trump was building a Trump Tower in their country, a country that not only has a murderous dictator, but has been doing business with Trump for decades. They actually purchased the 45th floor of Trump Tower in New York.
That is crazy.
And Trump needs money because he's a shitty businessman with 6 bankruptcies, including 3 casinos. But Trump doesn't possess the Machiavellian skill set that Bannon, Flynn, Vance, and Stephen Miller have.
Just this week, it was reported that an illegal exactly understand.
And that, of course, could be because of his rapid mental decline, which plays into the MAGA plans for 2028 and beyond.
The 14th Amendment, though, says that, quote, all persons born in the United States are citizens. Can you get around the 14th Amendment with an executive action?
We're going to have to get a change. We'll maybe have to go back to the people, but we have to end it.
Bannon and Trump's inner circle, they're going to make their decision on Trump taking a shot in 2028 based on the 2026 midterms and America's reaction to Trump's team of biohazards.
But everything in the world is going to change on January 20th because the President of the United States is going to use every single legal, diplomatic, and financial tool to halt the entry of all illegal aliens into this country. There will be no benefits. There will be no entry. There will be no asylum. There will be no admission. You may be prosecuted. You will certainly be arrested, and you will absolutely be deported. The entire world, Mexico, Northern Triangle, Central America, South America, Africa, Asia, the Middle East, will get this message. There is no unlawful route to enter the United States of America. Every presidential authority, including his absolute authority under Article 2 to defend the territorial sovereignty of the United States, will be used, from the Department of Defense to the Department of Justice to Homeland Security and every single other lawful authority at his disposal. It will be the end of the evasion. It will be the beginning of the liberation.
What the hell did you just say?
The lies Trump and his team successfully propagated include the 2020 election, but also the border, and of course Trump's team pushing tiny fingers to lie about the wall and the actual crimes that didn't occur.
The cartels put her on a mattress in a shoebox of a room, and they sent men through that door over and over again.
You remember her? That was a Republican senator from Alabama responding to Biden's State of the Union, and she implied that the woman who was raped by the cartel was Biden's fault, even though the rapes happened in Mexico 15 years ago under Bush. And of course, the lies about American immigrants.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
But Bannon and company don't give up. They successfully overwhelmed American sensibilities and pushed their lies so well and so frequently, they destroyed the Democrats' ability to respond to them all.
The transgender thing is incredible. Think of it. Your kid goes to school and comes home a few days later with an operation. The school decides what's going to happen with your child. And, you know, many of these childs 15 years later say, what the hell happened? Who did this to me?
You're saying that in California you can kill a newborn baby up to 4 weeks until after it's born?
Absolutely.
That's not true.
That is true.
That's not true.
That's the law in the last year or two.
That is not true. That's not true.
You need to go do your research.
Both of these ideas came from Bannon, who plays Trump like the tuba he resembles.
But I am not unpopular.
So Congress is required to hold a constitutional convention if 2/3 of state legislatures call for one. That's 34 states, and the Republicans have 31. But 3/4 of the states, that's 38 states, would have to ratify any changes that the Constitutional Convention produced. So that probably is not going to happen. You see, the Constitution is powerful, a document of historical importance. But we live in a country that reads on a 7th grade level, of which only 2% can name any other amendment other than the second. And of course, when the Second Amendment is all you know, the rest of the Constitution is just paper.
Damn right. I'm as mad as hell. This is not a normal election.
Whether the women like it or not.
Suck my fat one.
This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
And this guy's personal life is a total disaster.
Trust me.
Shut the f*** up, Darren.
Who's with me? Oh, yeah, the lie.
Indictable.
Out of sheer morbid curiosity, I'm allowing this freak show to continue.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Tick-tock.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.